Yeah,
Wow.
let's spend some money. I got some.
What's that from?
Well, I just got a contract on my house, so
Nice.
I figured, you know what? I got all this money that's going to be coming in, so why not have a good time and start spending some of it?
Hang on, before you spend, just don't don't forget you're going to have like commissions that have to be paid, and you're going to have closing costs, and you might have some repairs that have to be done on the house, and then there's probably dock stamps and intangible tax and things like that have to come out of all of that.
That's all I got left. I thought I was going to have money left. You got to explain this to me, Lynn. I don't get it. Help me out here. Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Horvath, and this is Moving Forward TV, your local market update.
And I am Dylan Gaston. Thank you so much for joining us today. On today's show, we are talking about selling your house. Sellers. So we did our series on home buying.
Yes, we did the 4,682 parts
steps
of achieving the American dream of buying your home.
And selling 4 steps. No, I'm kidding.
So what do you want to do, buy or sell? Which is quicker, which is easier?
But even if you're a buyer, that means one day you're going to be a seller.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? It's really fascinating, the process and how it goes about. And we're not going to bore you with that this week, I promise. We're going to talk about selling and what to expect and what I didn't realize, and we'll get into that more later.
And costs and some of the statistics.
But
right.
I love stats. So this week we're going to talk about stats and what's really going on in the market, because we're all about, you know, updating our real estate professionals and educating them.
That's right.
On what's going on in the market. So we got some really good stats this week on what's going on with home sales and the market and the buyers. And
I know a lot of the realtors out there probably know this, but keep in mind we are also talking to the potential home sellers out there. So,
well, you know what? Pretty much we'll talk to anybody who listens.
yeah.
So if you're watching this right now, we want to talk to you. We want to connect with you.
You might be a buyer or a seller at one point.
You could be somebody that's just bored on the internet right now. We don't know.
but let's talk about selling houses.
Sorry. I just need more coffee. Go ahead. You do the show.
All right. So the first thing we want to talk about, we did, like I said, we did some great stuff about buying a home, but selling a home, again, whether you're buying now, someday you will be a seller. So this is good info for you as well. It's a lot different, you know. With the buyer, there's this much paperwork. With the seller, there's probably this much paperwork. So not quite as much paperwork, but definitely some stuff that you need to know ahead of time to prepare for selling, the costs associated with selling, that kind of thing.
We'll get into details on later on. But first, let's talk about what's going on in the marketplace.
I know.
I really want to know what's going on.
That's your
All right,
area.
So
Go for it.
You know what's so funny? Everybody compares this market right now, because we're in 2017. In case you watch this 10 years from now and pull it out in the archives, it is 2017 in our world today. So I just searched my disclaimer. But you know, people want to relate to 2005 and 6, where the market was totally on fire.
Right.
It was crazy things happening, and you know, you couldn't find a home. It was easy to get a mortgage. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you're approved. Close today.
Got a pulse? Okay.
Yep, you're in. And a lot of people compare them, but they're really not the same. They're the same as far as maybe where price-wise is. So it's kind of interesting. The number of homes sold in 2016, it was the most homes sold in a decade, okay? The most.
A decade.
So 2016.
Units, that is, units.
Yeah.
Number of homes sold.
It's pretty crazy. It's 5.5
Which is
million
great.
homes were sold last year.
So
in
that
2016.
so that shows, right? Everybody says, oh, the real estate crash and everything, but things are definitely back. And I know they're reporting it on the news and everything, so it is good. So if you are thinking of selling your home, now is probably a good time to consider that. Or if you were thinking about selling your home down the road, again, you might want to reconsider about selling
and if
now.
you want to compare that to 2005,
Mm-hmm.
2005 we had 6.2 million sold. So while there was less, it is comparable in that sense. So, the big difference is now, if you remember in 04, 05, we did this,
Right.
okay? What have we done since 09? We've kind of did this.
Right.
The slowly,
Right.
So
the good
I don't
thing
want to
is-
let's call it a safe bubble.
No, I don't like the word bubble. These numbers, I would say, and he's going to get into the amounts too, but these numbers are more real. In 2005, like he said, 4 and 5, it went, here was the market, and all of a sudden it went, and then it went.
Exactly.
But this time, like he said, it's been a gradual incline.
And it has been, and the number
which
of
is
units,
safer.
and it's a lot of cash buyers, mind you, which is helping drive up the market.
Right.
Because I believe today that the appraisers all are handcuffed, and in a good way.
Exactly.
In a good way, they're controlled, they're regulated,
and the lenders.
they're being watched.
The lenders are really,
are, the paper's not easy to shuffle.
watched.
You can't just
Right.
pop it through anymore.
No,
And,
yeah.
It's a little different. And of course, when you have a lot of inventory turning over, it's only natural that the prices go up. So let's talk about
Right.
the prices going up, Delane.
Prices have gone up
Yeah,
nicely.
And what's so funny is that in 2016, the median home price in 2016, this is nationwide, was $233,900. $233,900, and that is a 5% increase over the previous year.
So in 1 year, it went up 5%. So again, if you're considering selling, it's probably a good idea. If you're considering buying, I would get in as soon as possible. Buy now. That's what I keep it. Buy now, because prices are going up.
They are, and if you want to compare, okay, if you want to look at 2005 as a comparison, the median home price then was $222,000.
See, so it's
So,
higher
well-
now, and everybody said, "Oh, that was the height of the market and everything."
And there's a lot of reasons that can play into that. First of all, people are buying bigger homes, building bigger
Right.
homes. The cost of construction is
Has
bigger.
gone up, right.
It's a much higher cost today to build that same home.
Right.
But people want more space.
Right.
We all want more space.
And
You got more space in the office now.
I do. I have an office.
We started her out in a corner, and then we moved her to a desk, and then she got a bigger room. Now
And
she's
I have a
got
cubicle. Now I have an office.
Now she's like big time. I'm really envious of her. I know that has nothing to do with the show, but sometimes we want to talk about nothing, just so you'll keep listening, okay?
But on the prices and such like that, the prices and the market going up and everything, as we said, with the gradual increase, it's nice because it's real numbers and it's safer. It's a lot safer this way. People can afford more, which is what it shows as well. So
That's Delynn.
incomes have gone up.
She's the eternal
I know.
optimist. Remember, it's safer.
And I think outside the box.
Remember, let's quote this. She said it's safer in 2017.
And with prices going up, people and sales going up, what does that mean? People can afford these higher prices. Incomes are stronger. Jobs are stronger.
Yeah, there we go.
It's all good.
Yeah, because we have.
I'm tired. For all those years, we talked about all the bad stuff that was
Well-
happening. Remember the implodometer?
Implodometer, yes.
Remember that?
That was
It was all
depressing.
negative and bad
That was
stuff.
depressing. And
so
you
I
know
like
what?
the good stuff.
And part of the reason why the prices go up is the amount of inventory, and we're actually at a low. If you want to compare, we are at between 04 and 05 levels right now on the number of months of inventory. We have 4.4 months of inventory right now. So when you have
Which is not a lot.
When you have low supply, you have higher demand. Prices are going to go up. Okay, so if you want to
It's called
compare
a seller's market
to
because right
09,
now,
we had 10.4 months
Wow,
of inventory,
see
so
that?
big difference. So you know what, and we're going to talk about the cost of home selling. We got more to give you because we're going to give you a little tip about rates after this, okay? I'm not going to say nothing. I'll be right back though. All right, we're back.
We're back.
What did we do? We took a break.
You mean in the break?
I took a little. I had to take a
We
little.
went
snooze.
over our notes, like we always do.
So we know what else to talk about, so we don't just bore people.
Well, we did chat about the mortgage rates
You know
and
what?
stuff, and
I'm going to tell you this because it's really important to me.
he gets mad that I get passionate. Go ahead.
No, I got it. Well, we talk about notes and things we bring up, but we live this stuff, breathe it, eat
I
it,
know.
drink it every single day.
I know.
So it's kind of natural for us to just like talk about it.
And sometimes when we are talking to people, and forgive us because we kind of get off on a ramble or kind of
Sure.
get going, and we don't realize sometimes that people aren't like following and keeping up with us because
No.
it is just so second
Like
nature
we
to
used
us.
to talk, if we talked about sports and the Lightning
Yeah.
and their chances of being in the playoff, people would be like, "Oh yeah, I know about that." But when you talk about mortgage rates,
I know. People go, ooh,
I know.
no, mortgage, ooh, debt,
it's bad. All
ooh.
right, so let's. You know what? We talked about the inventory, very little inventory, the
Right.
market going up, affordability,
Right.
median prices
Getting-
going
right.
much higher. But you know what's so funny? People worry about rates. Everybody's focused on rate. And while it's important to get a good mortgage rate,
Mm-hmm.
and rates are creeping up right now, really the price of the home impacts your
Right.
payment and your affordability much greater than that mortgage rate. And you know that home prices are going up.
Right.
Unless, we hit another correction, which is just not likely in the way, things are right now.
Right.
It's probably not.
It's pretty solid right now.
And I'm going to give you a fact right now. You know what? Mortgage rates everybody thinks, if you go back into 1980 when rates were like 16%, do you remember that? Were
I
you doing
do.
Loans then?
I sure was.
Oh my God.
18. The highest one I closed was 18%.
So, but the fact is, between 1985 and 2016, rates have been between the low threes and 8.
Right.
Nowhere else. 3s and 8. That's it. And some, in between.
Right.
That was the high, that's the low. So they're going to channel between that.
30
You kinda
30
know
years
that.
of, right. So,
The
and,
home price, though, is what's going to cost you more.
and I was just going to say, and the reason this is important, I know the show is about selling, and the reason this is important is because as the rates are down, it means a person, which is why the market has been so strong, can qualify for more. Because, of course, what they qualify for is based on their monthly payment. Their monthly payment, of course, is based on the interest rate. Well, the lower the monthly payment, that means they can afford more house.
Right.
So as the prices go up and as the rates go up, that's going to change. They're not, for example, which is why we say buy now. So if you're a seller, sell now, because next year, let's say you're looking at a $200,000 house. Next year, that same $200,000 house, given the appreciation, that's going to cost you $210,000.
That's crazy, isn't it? When
Yep.
you think about
And maybe
that,
you
the
can't
price
qualify for that.
And cost of construction, inflation in general is going up. Cost of construction is higher, materials cost more. People, they want the latest gadget, because the latest gadget costs more. It's all.
So all saying buy now. So
Yep.
now we're talking back to you sellers. So sell now if
'Cause
you've
that's
been
really what this
considering
show is about.
selling. Yes. So what does it take to sell your house? It's not just let's put a sign on the front lawn. You can for sale by owner. We don't recommend it. Realtors do a phenomenal job, and just remember, above all else, they've got your back. So absolutely, positively list with a seller. Not only
Are they
can they
paying
do
us to say that for them?
Not only can they do a lot to help you market your home, but it's what they do. They can get it sold for you, and they're protecting you from a legal standpoint.
And they are,
Yes.
and most homes are sold through a real estate professional. Let's
Right.
face it. But I know a good realtor is going to sit down with you and explain. But when you're sitting there going, okay, what am I going to price my home at? Oh, I got to make this much money because I want this much to put down on my next house. You need to understand what it's going to cost you to sell your home.
Right.
And your biggest single cost typically is going to be the real estate commission. And it's typically 6%. And people say, well, wow, that's a lot of money, because on a $200,000 home, which is below our median price,
Right.
that's $12,000 that you as a seller, boom, comes out. Now you're down to $188. That's why
Right.
you took all my money earlier, remember?
See?
By the way, I want that back later.
And it's well worth it.
Did you
It
hear
is-
me? Did you just totally ignore me? She just totally ignored me. Do you hear that?
What money?
She took my cash. I have 40,000 people witnessed it.
40,000? Wow. Hey.
It's a good day on the show. All right, so your real estate commission. And, people say, well, I can get it done for 5, real estate commission.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, I personally don't recommend that. And I don't know how you feel about this, Delynn. We've talked about it before.
Right.
But, I'm a real estate professional. I'm really not. But just let's pretend.
you were.
Let's pretend I was. And I'm looking in the MLS of homes listed to show my potential buyer. This one, because you get half, was listed at 6%. This one listed at 5%. This one's going to pay me 2 or 2.5. This one's going to pay me 3. Which home am I going to show first?
The one that's going to pay you the most money.
So, and that home's going to get more dollar.
Right.
So don't be
More
afraid
traffic.
don't undercut your realtor.
Not to mention they do a lot of work. And trust us, that whole $12,000 in your example does not go to your realtor. There's a lot that goes into that. They're paying for that sign on the lawn. They're paying for all of the marketing that they do.
They're paying that $35.
There's a lot that goes into it, as well as there's another agency, then they have their agency that they have to split it with. So boom, 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 boom. They're down to this much. They're working their tail off for not a lot of money.
So that's your biggest cost on it, and we need to
Right.
move on. So home repairs is next on our list. A lot of times there's things you need to do to get the home ready to get it to sell.
And I would say definitely spend some money here, because you want to make sure, A, that your house is clean
Right.
is a biggie. So if it takes hiring a professional cleaning company to come in and help you out there, do it. Unclutter it. Paint the walls.
Paint it.
Even if it's just the cosmetic stuff from the chairs backed up against the wall or
Yep.
something.
Fresh paint does wonders.
Wonders. It's just amazing, and it's going to help your house sell a lot faster.
Yes, a fresh coat of paint. So
In addition
repairs.
to the minor repairs,
Yeah.
then sometimes when
And
you
then-
have a
and-
contract.
Yeah, and then once you get under contract,
Right.
you're going to have an inspection. And that inspector could dig up something you didn't even know existed.
The bigger repairs
Yeah,
that potentially could come.
There's a tiny leak in the wall. There's moisture there. You didn't know it was there, but, the inspector went around with his little moisture meter
Right.
and, hey, what's this? He found a little leak. Now you
Right.
could be in a major repair. It could be anything, it could be a light switch. It could be
Right.
a ceiling fan that's out. It could be, anything, a dishwasher or something you never used before.
And what happens is the inspector usually will do a report, and that report goes to the buyers and the agents, and they'll say, okay, well, before we go through with this purchase, we need this, this, and this fixed.
Right.
It might not pass the appraisal or something like that, and that might be some big stuff.
And
So-
it could be required by the lender as well.
Right.
In order to close on the loan. Okay, next thing, you got an empty house, you moved out, let's just say hypothetically. You want to make it look like it's kind of lived in so people can visit. So we do something called staging.
Right.
And staging can cost, what did you say? What's
between
the average
$600 and $700.
to stage it, to put in props
Well
in the
worth
house?
money. Instead of having a completely vacant house,
Yep.
it makes it look nicer. And I want to say as well, even if you didn't move out and you're still you have to live in the house until it does sell. Again, unclutter, get almost everything out of the house. Get a storage bin or something so there's very little, and have a stager come in and help you place the furniture to make it in an appealing way for the
That's
buyers.
good. Really good. And just again, another cost. Okay, we got a couple more things we want to cover.
Okay.
But
we have to take a quick break.
We got to take a quick break. We're going to talk about just a few more things you might not have thought about when you're selling your home.
The
when we get
biggies
back.
at the end.
Yes. Okay, we got more stuff to cover.
Did the whole studio just get dark, or is it me?
It's dark.
Did like a cloud move over or something?
It's dark. It
Could have
did get
sworn there
dark.
was lights. What's going on?
I think we're in the same light. I think
Anyway.
the background dropped out.
Oh, maybe that's what
All
it
right,
is.
maybe
Okay.
because they didn't pay the next thing on our list.
Utilities.
So maybe they didn't pay the bill. So it's another cost
To the seller.
because we're talking about closing costs and what the seller can expect. And people forget about utilities because one of the things you must do, let's say you move out of the house, you moved into your new home,
Mm-hmm.
you listed your home, you must have the utilities on. And people don't think about that.
When they're
'cause
selling, they transfer them over to the new home. Well, that's a
It's-
problem. We
it's
need to have them on
You must have them on because
for
it's
inspections and such.
It's required to get a loan to
Yes.
have it. And the inspector's going to want to come in and see the water runs and the appraiser.
Mm-hmm. They have
and the
to.
electric. They have to. It's the law now.
Right.
It's just the way it is. So that utility cost is just another added expense that's going to be on.
Just make sure that you're
It's
aware
on,
of that.
and
right.
you're paying the bill. It's
You have
on.
to.
It's another expense. So again, more of the money you took from me earlier.
Yes.
There's where it went.
See?
Yeah, see?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what money he's talking about.
I
Anyway,
know
next.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Next on our list, if you, as the seller, if you have an existing mortgage on this house, obviously keep in
Everybody
mind.
does, right?
Everybody does. Very few people own it free and clear. Lucky you guys. But if you have a mortgage on the house, you have to pay that mortgage off, obviously.
And that-
Keep in mind, what is on your monthly statement
That's not it.
is not the payoff.
Yeah, because mortgage interest is always paid in the arrears.
Right.
The calculation, it might say 220,000 on your payoff, but the real number is probably 224.
Right.
Or
Right.
And again, that's another additional cost that you didn't think about. So you must order a payoff, and there's per interest charge per day called per diem.
Right.
So
Now, most of the
people
time-
don't think about it.
Exactly. Most of the time people think too, well, we have, but I have all this money sitting in there for escrow. Do they just keep that? No. Sometimes they'll subtract it off your balance, but most of the time
No.
after closing,
You'll get
you're going to get a check in the mail.
You'll get it 2 to 6 weeks later.
And keep in mind, they're not going to release that to the title company. They're not going to say, okay, well, here, just use this escrow money to pay, the seller side of the closing costs.
Nope.
By law, they can't do that.
That's not it.
So-
And then we got one more big thing, especially in Florida. There's additional fees that the seller must pay, and it's your favorite thing to talk
Closing
about.
costs.
It's your favorite thing to talk about.
It is. It's my favorite thing to talk about on the buyer side, so that
Personally,
they understand them.
I'm
but-
going to leave now, so I'll leave you. You're in good hands with Delid. She's going to talk about this for the next 3.5 hours, and I'm just
No,
kidding.
because it's
we
really
got about 2 minutes
Because
left.
this time it's just seller. So I know on the buyer side, I love explaining all of that. But on the seller side, keep in mind there are a couple of things in addition to the real estate commission that you have to pay. You obviously have to pay the title company for doing the closing and such, the owner's policy for the title, and then the doc stamps on the deed. That is one of the biggies, and that is your responsibility as the seller.
And another big one you forget
What?
is HOA.
HOA.
Yes, yes.
Also,
The
right.
estoppel letters now, some of them are up to like
Like $200-300.
200-300. I've seen $500 now.
That's crazy.
And what that is basically a fee that is charged to you as a seller to say, yeah, I'm all caught up on my dues.
And who gets that? The HOA gets that?
The
HOA
and
gets
it's
that.
typically the management company. So, 200-300 is pretty common, but sometimes it's more, and it's called an estoppel fee. But it's, again, an additional cost that you didn't realize, especially it's bigger with condos and that than it could be with a lot of the HOAs.
And don't
But
forget about the proration of real estate taxes and such,
there's so many things.
all of these little costs and everything. So our point is, when you sell a house for $200,000 and you owe $100,000 on it, don't think you're walking away with $100,000. There's definitely going to be
my
some
money
costs.
over there. Did you put it?
There's again,
I get it back because we haven't closed yet. I'm going to need it for closing.
there's going to be some costs, some payoffs,
Come
some
on, let me have
closing
it.
costs, things like that.
Come on, I know you got it.
That you're going to have to pay, you as the seller, so don't Anyway, what do you got going on?
Well, I don't have enough.
So do we have anything going on
Good golly, we got lots of stuff going on. But you know what?
in the community? Our
got-
community update
Yeah,
is,
community update. Here we go. We got the
Fix my
Barry for
pillow.
honorary governor race. And you know what? People think I'm really running for governor. I'm not that stupid, okay? I'm a little crazy, but no. But it's the honorary governor, and it's really all for charity. It's win-win for this community. It supports the Chamber of Commerce.
Right, West Pasco Chamber of Commerce.
And it supports the charity of my choice, which is West Pasco Business Association, a 501c3 that donates all its money right here back in the community.
Right.
Which is what I love about them. It's all
for
used
events
here
known
local.
as the Grinch or Bowling for Boobs, things like that.
Yes, and we're always trying to fundraise to help families in need.
Right,
locally.
local families in
And-
need.
And of course, we connect businesses and promote them.
Right.
And right now, we have 2 big events, 3 big events, 4 big events, but we'll talk about a couple of them.
Okay.
March 19th is the big one. You want to do this. It's the Luck of the Irish Cornhole Tournament, and get your team. It's cash prizes for that. Go online. You can go on barryforpasco.com to register your team. A team is $50, 2 players, cash prizes. We got live music, a vendor spot, $25, folks. Get your vendor spot. There's going to be beer trucks there, tents. It's at
And there is Fiddler's Green.
Fiddler's Green at Trinity on Mitchell Boulevard. Get it. Go on barryforpasco.com. Sign up your team. Get your vendor spot for $25. Get your team for $50, or be a sponsor. It all goes to charity. It's a great cause. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bring the kids out. We got live music from Shadowfax.
I never
and
knew cornhole was such a big thing.
It is.
But apparently it
It
is.
is. It's because we don't know how to play
There are
it.
going to be a ton of people there.
You just wing that little bag and hope it goes in the hole.
And-
Isn't that how it works?
Yeah.
You can get
So
your
I do
custom.
it.
You can get your custom board with your name on it done for being a
Neat.
sponsor. It's really cool.
So what else is happening on the
Shadowfax
19th?
and Jewel Vera both playing at the same
playing.
venue. Yeah.
All this fun in one spot
Yes.
on the
it's-
19th of March.
It's a Sunday
so
afternoon. Starts at 1 o'clock.
come out and support your local
It'll
community
be a
and
good
have a
time.
blast at the
It'll
same
be a good
time and hear some
All
great
right,
music.
So, and then we got other events in between. We got the BFG big mega raffle. It's got
Right,
lots
we've
of
got
prizes.
this huge gift basket that's
Get-
got tons of gifts in it.
Get your raffle ticket. You want to win it.
Big stuff, trips, condo
beach
trip,
giveaway,
yeah.
fishing trips,
Big screen TV.
TV, a beautiful diamond pendant from DeLuca's Fine Jewelry. Oh my gosh, worth
Yeah.
over $1,200. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's in the mega raffle basket. And then we got the duck derby coming up. You can buy your ducks, get your quack pack.
Buy ducks.
Yep. And then, of course, April 21st, I believe it is. So
Yes, we
we
think.
got a dodgeball tournament. That's
So
gonna be
if
at all
cornhole
Regents.
isn't your thing, maybe dodgeball ball is.
But stay tuned for that one. That one's later on. But you can register your team now. There'll be limited teams. It's $10 a head. Go play some dodgeball.
Fun.
And kids
Fun,
can come
fun.
too. We got age brackets for kids. So so
Can
much
I be
stuff.
on the kid team?
Go on WPBA.biz if you want to learn more about it. And of course, register your team on Barry for Pasco. That's my governor's site. So, all right,
It's
that's all I got. I'm
governor's
rambling.
All right, we appreciate everyone watching. Please, if you are a real estate professional, please share this with your sellers and your potential buyers.
And if you're not a real
and
estate
other
professional,
agents.
please share this.
Anyway, yeah, I guess so. Thank you.
We're on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
All that fun stuff. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We are Today and Every Day.
moving forward.
We'll see you next week.